we have some young people up here that we're going to have a little conversation with that I believe is going to be incredibly encouraging to you. We want to let you know that every single year we do this camp, it costs us about, I think it's a $50,000 plus camp. And we do that because we really believe in the next generation. And we want to do everything that we can to set them up for success. So every single year we have an auction, a youth auction, and that's coming up on the 24th of this month. And I encourage you to come to it. You want to talk about something that is fun to be at, but it's also something that really goes into investing into these young people that go to our camp. Last year we had over 150 students go to camp. It is absolutely phenomenal. I go there usually for a day or two just to see what's happening, and I've spoken at it a couple times. I gotta tell you, it is off the hook. It's amazing, and we end up investing not only into them, but every year these students will bring probably 50 first-time students to Breakthrough Camp. So we're investing into evangelism. Our young people are the greatest evangelists in our church. And single-handedly, you could grow the church all by yourself, and you're a very big part of that. But it's us getting behind them that makes that happen. So I was so encouraged to hear all of your answers in the first service. So Mario, let's get them involved.
All right. So we're just going to introduce you guys a little bit to who we got. We've got Christian Daub over here in the end. He's one of our phenomenal youth leaders. And next to him we have Mariah Washington, and she is going to be a senior at Hedgesville High School. Then we have Cameron Daub, and he's going to be a senior at Faith Christian. And then we have Lexi Blair, who just graduated from Hedgesville High School. So just if you guys just make some noise for them, we're just looking forward to hearing what they have to say. Cool. So Christian, we're going to have you open up with some answers. So I'm going to ask you this right here. What's something that you are looking forward to most about Breakthrough Camp?
I would probably say that first night when we're walking, well, each night I guess, but that moment when we're walking to the main building to go to our service and the music's blasting, it feels like the whole building's shaking, everyone's getting hype, everyone's getting excited, because you know every time you walk in that building, you're not going to a service, you're not going to hear a message, you're not going for praise and worship, you're going for this experience, and that's what you're going to receive going there, and it's truly remarkable. Just everything just goes out of control in a good way, and it's truly amazing to be a part of.
Awesome. Mariah, what are you looking forward to most?
There's a lot of things I'm looking forward to, but the thing I'm looking forward to the most is our campfire talks afterwards, when we're all just sitting together, sharing what we learned, sharing our stories, and how everything from the service and worship impacted us, and just ultimately growing closer to each other and God at the same time. It's amazing.
It's awesome. Cam?
I think, to me, the most valuable thing that happens at Breakthrough to me, and the most I'm looking forward to, is the worship that happens during the services that we have at Breakthrough. It's nothing like any other place or worship that's happening. It's not only the worship that's giving the glory to God, it's the atmosphere of everybody wanting to have that God relationship and to be touched by God, and to have everybody holding each other and being side by side, to have each other's back, and just to be able to just feel the God presence with everybody.
That's awesome. Lexi?
Well, I think for me, it's just the whole atmosphere of being able to get away from whatever it is back here. You know, last year our theme was away from the noise, and I think that's such an important theme that we kind of keep every year with Breakthrough Camp in a way, because we get away from any of the pain or the struggles of our lives back here in Martinsburg, and we can get away with God and truly look into our heart and realize what we need to work on with our relationship, and we also meet so many new people. So I'm just really excited to grow my relationship with God and to see my friends grow too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Lexi, since you have the mic, we're going to ask you another question. Ready? So what was one of your favorite memories from camp last year?
Favorite memory from camp last year it's hard to pick one because there's just so many things about Breakthrough Camp that are phenomenal. But I would have to say just the overall sense of surrender that you see. Like, I remember just having a moment where I was in worship, I was so into it, and then I look up and literally not one person had their hand down, everybody's arms were raised, and it's just this overwhelming sense of surrender. And it's not an experience you can get at any other place or get from anything else. And I just remember that being such a monumental moment. There were so many amazing youth there that were ready to come back and attack Martinsburg with the mission that God had put on their heart. And I think that was just the most impactful thing for me.
That's awesome. Now we're going to hop over to Christian again. Now, Christian, what about you? What was one of your best memories from camp last year specifically?
One of the best. This past year, I was the third time being a leader, but the other two cab members that were with me were in the bands. They're busy a lot, so it was kind of felt like I was with the guys a lot. And just that first night, first day, and you get there and you see in your cab, and you're like, all right, these are the guys I'm working with. So, and it's just a great experience learning with them and getting to know them and building that relationship with them, because I'm there to help guide them, support them. I don't want to just be a kind of a big brother, but like a friend, someone that wants to see them get their breakthrough. So when I'm there, like, that is my favorite moment, getting to know the guys in my cabin, the campfire talks and all that. So it's definitely the guys in the cabin is probably what I look forward to most.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, Cam and Mariah, Pastor Kevin has a specific question he wants to ask you guys.
Mariah, your first time that you went to camp was when?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
What was it that encouraged you to go to camp your very first time?
What encouraged me to go to camp my very first time was I basically was looking for something. I was scared. I was new to the church, new to youth. I didn't know anybody. And I just felt like being away with all these people I don't know and these leaders who have been encouraging me and telling me how great camp is would be just good for me and good for my relationship with God, because the leaders at the time definitely, when they were talking about camp, told us how Breakthrough Camp really changes your life and your relationship with God, and I was really seeking that, so that's what really encouraged me.
Mariah, you have a beautiful spirit about you. I don't know you that well, but I've heard a lot about you. And just being on stage today, listening to you talk, God's got his hand on your life. Never think that this thing ends as you get out of high school and then maybe even move into being a leader in youth, but it goes way beyond that. God has so much in your future, and you're a very special person. I just sense that about you today. So, Cameron, what about you? The first time you went to camp, was that last year?
It was last year.
What encouraged you to go last year?
Well, during that stage of my life, I was definitely going through a hard time, and I was in between moving schools from Hedgesville to Faith Christian, and there's some people at my school that were like, "Hey, you should come back to youth again. You haven't been in a while." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll come." And then just the overwhelming love from the entire church and definitely the youth pastors of just, you should go to camp and we've been waiting for you, and just the feeling of everybody coming together and just bringing together everyone just supported me a lot.
Fantastic. That's great.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now we're going to jump over here back to Christian, and you guys can just go down the line with this one. But if you were to be speaking to someone who was on the fence about coming to camp, a student that maybe, I don't know, whatever the reason may be, but they were on the fence about coming to camp, what would you say to them?
I would definitely say just do it. Just go, because it's worth it. You might say, oh, I can go next year or something like that, but this year might be the year that you need. This might be the breakthrough you need. Yeah. So you need to go and get that breakthrough, because next year might be something else. You need to go every year. There's something that you might not even know you're seeking, but you'll find it there. So I would definitely say just do it. Just go. Make it happen.
Awesome. Mariah? I'm
going to say be like Nike and just do it. It may seem scary at first, but I promise you, everyone at youth is going to welcome you with open arms. You're going to leave that camp with lifelong friends and just a better, closer relationship with God, and it's amazing.
Wonderful.
Cam.
They said it best, just to come and just to be a part of it. One thing is that with coming, there's no negative part to not, like, there's nothing that's going against coming. So you should just come.
Beautiful. Lexi.
What I would say to someone who's on the fence, maybe you have a music camp or you have a sports camp or a family vacation or something that you've been planning for a really long time, I can tell you that there's no greater experience than Breakthrough Camp. And not only do you come back a different person, you come back with different relationships and a stronger relationship and foundation with God. And I can truly say that every year I come back with something different. And if you're looking for that next step with God and what He has for you and what He has planned for you, I encourage you, just come to Breakthrough Camp. You'll meet so many new people and have so many great things you can take back from it.
Awesome.
That's great. Mariah, what would you like to say to a church that makes Breakthrough Camp possible?
I can honestly say that thank you doesn't sum it up one bit. I'm overly grateful for this church giving me this once-in-a-lifetime experience to go to Breakthrough Camp every single year, and it just impacts. I left Breakthrough Camp with a totally changed life, and I know my peers and the people on stage and all of Radial Youth leaves a total different person every time we go, so thank you so much.
Cameron, what would you like to say to the church?
Definitely just thank you to everybody and the support that we get behind us, the generation to come. But I also want to say, like, thank you for helping the church so much that people that can't make it on Sundays and people that can't make it on Wednesdays to come and be a part, we have that much support behind us that we can bring those people to camp that need it most in their situation.
Great. Lexi?
Well, there's so many different ways that what you're doing affects us, but I can personally say with my family from being in this church my whole life that the seeds that you're sowing are generational and they go on for years and years to come, and you will continue to see the growth and the amazing things God will do, not only in our youth's lives, but in our church as a whole. And I'm just so thankful for a church family that is believing in the next generation and doesn't want to just keep it to themselves, but wants us to flourish as well and see us do better. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the life change you've put in my life and my friends' lives, because it will affect me and ultimately it's going to affect everyone around us.
Christian, wrap it up with some encouragement to the church.
Yeah, thank you really is not enough to summarize, how great it is to have all of you supporting us the whole way through, and different communities and companies, they put all this time and investment into this big event, and that's awesome. But every year this church pulls this off, and every year it gets better, it gets bigger. There's more people coming, more people supporting, so it's just constantly growing, and you really see that growth come through at Breakthrough. There's so many more relationships, so many more people that are brought together because just more is put into it. And again, thank you is just certainly not enough to really show how grateful we are for a church like you.
How about that? Give him a big hand. Thank you so much.